welcome. It's exciting to be here, and I'm excited to really talk about my new book, which is called The Daylight Diet. And I'm speaking here tonight. A lot of restaurants don't let me speak there anymore because of that's when they do most of their business, nighttime. So they say, well, you can't talk about that here. So it's a good thing we're here tonight. Well, how many people have heard me speak before? Okay, next question. I'm from New York. How many people understood me? Okay. Well,
very well.
I have to give you the beginning of my lecture that I give all the time because the more I know about you, the better lecture I can give in a short amount of time we have. Now, I do talk a little slow because I am from New York and I'm excited. But if I'm talking too slow for you, just let me know and I'll go a little faster, okay? Okay. Everyone got that? All right. Now, how many people here, by a show of hands, is eating a raw food diet?
100%?
What percent?
Okay. It's a simple question. How many people are eating a diet exclusively of fruits, vegetables, and nuts and seeds uncooked? Okay. By a show of hands, how many people are eating a diet that has a lot of raw fruits and vegetables in it, but it's not necessarily all raw? All right. How many people here, by a show of hands, are vegans? With enthusiasm, let me see a big smile. I see people. Okay, how many people here are lacto-vegetarians? Okay, like a fake vegetarian. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's fine. How many people here don't want to raise your hands? Raise your hand. How many people here just came from McDonald's?
No.
We just did. I probably visit more McDonald's than anyone else in this room. One thing about me, I love McDonald's. Because if you travel as much as I do and you need to go to a bathroom, McDonald's is a great place to go. The reason why it's so great is because the bathroom's always available. So I love going there only for that. I don't go to use anything else. The reason why the bathroom is always available is because the people that are eating that food are constipated. But what I see at McDonald's is quite confusing. I see people eating some of the worst food on the planet, and they're happy. They're all happy with their Happy Meals, and I can understand that because I did that myself for many years. But what really confuses me is when I go to a health food store. Many times I see people about to eat some of the best food on the planet, and they don't look too happy. Sometimes they look confused and miserable. And I'm thinking, why is this? Maybe they really need the bathroom and it's not available, and that's the problem. But I found out the answer, and the answer is health is more than just diet alone. You can eat the best diet in the world, but if you're not working a job you love, and if you're not enjoying your life and doing the things that you really care about, or things that are meaningful, you're not going to be as healthy as you should be and can be. And this is why a lot of people that eat a great diet aren't doing too well. Now, there are other reasons why people eating a great diet aren't doing too well. And that's the subject we're going to discuss tonight. I'm sad to say a lot of people eating a raw food diet aren't doing too well. The majority of people eating a raw food diet are not doing well. And I've been eating a raw food diet for quite a long time now, and I'm doing well. And I wanted to know why people aren't doing well because, you'd figure these people are eating the highest quality food. What's the problem? And I found out there are many different types of foods to eat, different ways to eat, but it's not just changing what you call your diet. If you're eating the standard American diet, eating too much sugar, eating too much fat, too much protein, and then you switch to a raw food diet, but you're still eating too much sugar, too much fat, too much protein, guess what? Even though you call yourself a raw foodist, you're going to have the same problems. It's not about just changing what you call your diet, it's actually changing what you're doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. And I can tell you there are a lot of insane, sick people that call themselves raw foodists. No one here tonight. But the people on the websites and out there that aren't doing too well on a raw food diet are having issues. And I'm going to teach you today from the mistakes I've made and the mistakes I see many people making. It doesn't mean you can't eat a raw food diet, and it doesn't mean a raw food diet isn't healthy. What it means is if you do this the right way, it could be the healthiest and best way you could eat ever, and you'll have the best health ever. But if you continue to do this the wrong way, it's just a matter of time before you continue to suffer from the things that the whole reason you got into a raw food diet for. Now, there are a couple of things I also want to mention. You do not need to be 100% raw food diet to be healthy. As a matter of fact, I recommend most people not be on a 100% raw food diet. Because you don't have to be 100% perfect to be 100% healthy. All of the people I've met that have been very successful out of this, or the majority of them, were not all raw. But the things they ate that weren't raw, they weren't sitting in the corner eating McDonald's hamburgers. They might have had some a nice vegetarian meal with some steamed vegetables or a potato or something else, but they're not going to sit there and eat candy and chocolate and all this other junk food and processed foods and all these other things. So there's different ways we need to do this, and we're going to talk about these things tonight. When I first got into this, my first book, The Raw Life. How many people here have read The Raw Life? Oh, great, the same people that heard me speak. Wonderful. My first book, The Raw Life, what I did was I interviewed many people who were eating a raw food diet for many, many years. And I learned a lot from those people, and then I went on to write some other books. I interviewed more people, and I met a lot of people who've been eating a raw food diet for many, many years and who've done it successful. And I'm happy to say that my book, The Raw Food Diet, The Raw Life, has been one of the best-selling books in the raw food movement. I'm sad to say it turned a lot of people onto the raw food diet, and those are many of the people that aren't doing too great today. Because when I wrote that book, a lot of the ideas people gave, people took out of context, and they said, I'm going to eat all raw, and raw food diet is a panacea, and I'm going to get better from everything immediately. I use a vegetarian diet as an example. If you eat a vegetarian diet with a good amount of fruits and vegetables, and you do it the right way, you can be very healthy. However, you can eat processed noodles all day and call yourself a vegetarian. You're not going to be healthy. You must do this with wisdom. And when you eat a raw food diet, it's even more important to do this with wisdom. So we're going to talk about my new book, The Daylight Diet, because it takes the raw food diet to the highest level. And it helps erase the mistakes that a lot of people are making on the raw food diet. So I'm going to talk about how I came up with the book for the raw food diet. But before I do that, I want to get into a couple more things about my story and how I got to do this. I'm not going to go into the long story, which you can see on YouTube, my whole story of how I learned about health and how my doctors were telling me the raw food diet was bad for somebody with my condition, was inflammatory bowel disease, which was inflammation of the colon. And the doctors kept telling me raw food was no good. And every time they told me that, it just encouraged me. I knew I was on the right track because everything they told me didn't work. So I figured I'd do the opposite, and then I got better. But basically, I was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. I didn't know anything about health or diet or nutrition. All I knew about was I was what we would call in New York was a gym rat. I was in and out of the gyms, working out with the weights, and I just loved working out in the gym, and that's what I was about. And I knew about carbohydrates, I knew about protein, and I knew about Did everyone get that? That was very important what I just said. Very important. So, but the problem I had was when I first started eating this way, it's getting closer. Everyone duck. All right, so everywhere I go, I always hear a train. You know, maybe that's a sign or something. But I actually thought about a lot of the things I'm going to speak about tonight on a subway in New York, so maybe that is there's a connection there. Just so you know, a subway is not only a place you go to get something to eat; it's a train that goes under the ground in New York. But so I was when I got sick, I lost a lot of weight, and the main reason I wanted to be healthy and fit was just to put weight on and compete with my friends in sports and athletics when I was younger. So for me, it wasn't about being healthy; it was all about being big and fit when I was younger. And I ate a lot of food. As a matter of fact, I met very few people that ate as much as I did. On the average day, I would eat over 7,000 to 8,000 calories, over 300 grams of animal protein, and no fruits and vegetables because I hated the taste of them. And that's what I was doing on the average day. But when I got diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, I lost so much weight that I just wanted to eat more to keep the weight up. But it seemed the more I ate, the more weight I lost. And not only that, there were so many things going wrong. Everything the doc told me to do wasn't working. I had a lot of pain, but for me, it was a vanity thing. I mean, when I looked skinny and felt skinny and weak, I was just crushed. I didn't know what to do. And I tried just about everything, and I do mean everything. And it did get up to a point where I had no choice. I just gave up. I literally gave up. I told myself I wasn't going to eat anymore, and I didn't care.